Hello, my name is Peyton King, and for my leadership reflection, I'm doing a PowerPoint. So, for the articles that I read were the three differences between managers and leaders by Vinette Nayar, leadership and project management, understanding the trait theory of leadership by Kendra Cherry, the five-factor model of personality, and emotional intelligence is key to outstanding leadership by Dory Meinert. For the first article that I will be talking about is the three differences between managers and leaders. The first thing they talked about was counting value. Managers count value, some even reduce value by disabling those who add value. An example they used was if a diamond cutter is asked to report every 15 minutes how many stones he has cut, by distracting him, his boss is subtracting value. And then the article talked about creating value. Leaders focus on creating value. Leaders generate value over and above that which the team creates is as much a value creator as his or her followers are. Example is I like you to handle A while I deal with B. For the next thing that the article talks about was two things: circles of influence and circle of power. Leaders have followers while managers have subordinates. Leaders created circles of influence and managers create the circles of power. The last two things that the article talked about was leading people and managing people. Leadership refers to an individual ability to influence, motivate, and enable others to contribute towards organizational success, while management consists of controlling a group or a set of entitles to accomplish a goal. The second article that I will be talking about is leadership and project management. Project leadership is the act of leading a team towards the successful completion of a project. Project leadership requires skills in both managing people and tasks. It is a soft skill, part art, part science. Project Leadership Matrix is a tool that tells you what a type of leader you are. There are four parts: reactive people leadership, reactive task management, proactive people leadership, proactive task management. The next thing that the article talked about was a project leader. A project leader is someone who leads a project. Most leaders share these following 10 attributes. They are grounded and centered. They are aware and mindful. They create solutions. They are analytical. They can evaluate risk. They can generate a sense of urgency. They are insightful. They build cohesion. They motivate people and they achieve results. The next thing the article talked about was the six strengths as a project leader. Mind a gap, reframe your challenge. It's not the project, it's the team. Let the team define your role. Teach your team how to talk. Teach your teams how to decide. Everyone communicates, leaders connect. The first thing I will be talking about is mind a gap. Take Take time to explore the gap between navigating and leveraging the tools of trade and leading others. The next is reframe your challenge. It's not the projects, it's the team. Take care of the team and ensure that you form and frame the right environment. The team will take care of the initiative. Let the team define the role. Listen carefully and you will hear many of the raw ingredients of a high performance teams. These define the content of your job description as project leader. Teach your team how to talk. Spend time focusing on strengthening your facilitational skills. Teach your teams how to decide. Help a group develop an effective decision-making process. Look, look for the one that works for your organization or team. Everyone communicates, leaders connect. Great leaders at all levels strive to connect with team members on a more personal level. They take time to engage and learn about aspirations and even personal interests of their team members. The third article that I will be talking about is Understanding the Trait Theory of Leadership by Kendra Cherry. The trait theory of leadership is the ability to lead and is something that people are simply born with and not something that could be developed. Carroll's theory of leadership was based on certain traits produce certain patterns of behavior. Patterns are consistent across different solutions, and people are born with leadership traits. But there are controversy of the trait theory. Researchers found that there were relative few traits that could be used to distinguish between leaders and followers. Some have suggested that this may be due to situational variables in which leadership skills only emerge when an opportunity for leadership arises. The fourth article that I used was the five-factor model of personality. There are the five factors: openness to experience, consensusism, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. The first thing that article talked about was openness to experience. It is characterized by a willingness to try new activities. They enjoy artistic and cultural experiences. Unlike people who have closed experiences, they feel uncomfortable in familiar situations and prefer familiar environments. The next one is conscientiousness, are more aware of the actions and consequences of their behavior than people who are unconscientious. They feel a sense of responsibility towards and others, are generally careful to carry out duties assigned to them. Extroversion is characterized by outgoing, social, confident behavior. Extroverts are sociable, talkative, and often forward in social situations. They enjoy being the center of a group and will often seek the attentions of others. The next one is agreeableness. Individuals who score high on agreeableness measures are friendly and cooperative. Agreeable people dislike people involved in arguments, conflict with others, and others' form of confrontation. The next thing is neuroticism. People with high neuroticism scores are often persistent worriers. They are more fearful and often feel anxious, overthinking their problems and exaggerating their significance. Rather than seeking the positive in a situation, they may dwell on its negative aspects. The final article that I used was Emotional Intelligence is Key to Outstanding Leadership by Dory Minard. The first thing they talked about was self-awareness. Leaders don't see a need to control their emotions because they reach their lofty position while doing so, and their teams are afraid to clue them. It's good for all leaders to get some honest feedback. The next thing they talked about was social awareness. Leaders need to focus more on other people than themselves. They miss important cues because they are always thinking about what they will say next. The third thing they talked about was self-management. Self-management is getting your emotions to produce the behavior you want. Some tips are: set narrow, measurable goals, keep a journal, and quiz yourself. The fourth thing they talked about was relationship management. Researchers have found that outstanding leaders almost continuously monitor their emotional climate in any setting they are. Leaders are very good in the way they interact with people. They express their own feelings and getting other people to feel good, even if the situation is a difficult one. So I am going to give you my opinions and my own experiences that I have learned after reading these five articles. The two articles that I connected most with was The Emotional Intelligence is Key to Outstanding Leadership by Dory Minard and the five-factor model of personality. After reading the article on the five-factor model of personality, I realized that I have the personality of agreeableness. I usually like to agree with people so I don't step on anybody's toes, and I don't like getting in conflict either. I try to avoid it as much as possible. Like, that's the one thing I hate is conflict. I think it's really a lot of work. So, yes, that when I read that, I was like, yes, I am very agreeable with people, so I don't have to uh, step on anybody's toes or get into conflict. The next thing was the next article that I agreed with was the emotional intelligence. I realized that I do not have self-awareness sometimes or social awareness. Social awareness, I'm a very oblivious person, and sometimes I'm just walking and I don't even notice anything. I'm just walking, and it's crazy because I mean, I should do that. When I was working, uh, sometimes I didn't even realize that somebody was trying to talk to me because I was in my own little head or world, and it's kind of crazy. But yeah, self-awareness. I'm usually pretty like good with being self-aware, but sometimes if you're just talking and to your friends, you don't really think about it. But if you're talking to like a random person about like and your personality shows up, they might not like that, and sometimes I don't realize that. But besides that, I really enjoyed reading the articles and telling my opinions.